Wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. We got a crazy one today. Diddy, Diary, Astrology, Shannon Sharp, Kanye West, everybody out of pocket. But first, thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. What's up? Hey, Angie. Good morning, everybody. We got a crazy show today. I'm going to try to jam pack everything in here. Diddy got a diary, not the Kim Porter diary. An employee has a diary that might cook Diddy for sure. He also got some astrology weirdness going on. I'm sure y'all heard about Shannon Sharp has his own version of a Diddy lawsuit going on. We'll dive into that, determine whether we think it's real or a money grab. Kanye West has said some I don't even want to say crazy, some just horrific stuff about who he gave some head to as a kid. Or that's just a lot, y'all. We're gonna take our time and get into every little piece of it. I don't know. Today episode is gonna be crazy. We'll see how it goes. It's just so much to talk about. Hope everybody enjoying it. Y'all know this is our Taco Tuesday, right? I gotta make sure I'll be losing track of the days. Yes, Taco Tuesday. You know, I'll be trying to find me a taco later on. Hope you are as well. And we're gonna get straight into it. And I got probably a little story I might be able to fit in, but it's so much to talk about today. I ain't gonna rant. I don't have a story. I'm just gonna get right into it because it's a lot. So without further ado, let's get started with Diddy and this alleged diary. And another reason why Diddy wanted to push his trial back 2 months is on par with Diddy when you hear the reason. So sit back, relax. Like I always say, if you're driving, keep your seatbelt on, eyes on the road, ears on me. If you're walking your dog, keep your head on the swivel. And make sure you poop the scoop. We love the dogs, but we don't love the boo-boo. All right, so let's get it. So this comes from Baller Alert. We're going to talk about the diary first. This employee diary that could be a smoking gun, if you will, in this upcoming trial, May 5th. Shout out to everybody in here. Y'all are so supportive. Much love to all of y'all. So it says Diddy employee. This is from Baller Alert. Diddy employee. We getting right into it today, y'all. I ain't telling you no family stories to start it off. We just getting into it. Diddy employee documented alleged abuse in personal diary, and that employee will take the stand, y'all. So it goes on to say Diddy's sex trafficking and racketeering case is approaching, and one employee is coming with very personal receipts. Megan Kuniff, the journalist that does a lot of these celebrity cases, said one of the witnesses in Diddy's upcoming federal racketeering trial is a former employee who prosecutors say kept a personal diary that detailed Diddy's behavior towards herself and others. And this is actually coming from the actual superseding indictment. If you want to check it out, you can read a little more detail into it, but let's go. So, according to Megan Kuhn, a former staffer kept a journal that documented the mogul's behavior, and that employee is set to take the stand. Now, during that time, they're calling this employee number 3. So, if you look up the indictment, look up employee number 3. The employee number 3 says she worked for Diddy and kept that diary, and she detailed all kinds of specific events of Diddy's behavior while she was on the job. This revelation surfaces as Diddy's legal team fights to exclude certain evidence from the trial. Recently, they secured a small win with the judge when the judge agreed that several uncharged instances of sexual assault would not be presented. Still, one accuser will be allowed to testify about alleged abuse by Diddy. Additionally, Cassie is expected to take the stand under her real name. Now, meanwhile, the Bad Boys founders' lawyers continue to push to suppress the explosive surveillance footage showing him assaulting Cassie. So far, the judge hasn't agreed to remove the video. Now, what is this diary? This diary could easily be the smoking gun. This person is said to have all type of details. Now, what have we heard that went on if you were an employee of the dealer? You were expected to pick up drugs for him and for the guests. You were expected to pick up baby oil, and that baby oil has been rumored to be a clear date grape drug. Let's just say it like that. So many secrets, but the one thing that's dangerous about a diary is it's much better than memory. Meaning, your memory might block out some of the craziness that went on with Diddy, some of the times he made you have sex with this person or that person, or the subconscious is a crazy thing. It'll block out and throw out memories that you might not want to remember. But not that diary. That diary will keep up with everything that you put in it. Ain't no forgetting. You'll read that diary and say, damn, I forgot that he did that to me. How many times have y'all, even if it wasn't a diary, went back in your phone and maybe you were looking for something and you saw a picture that reminded you of something that you had totally forgot about? I mean, I do that every day. And it ain't just because I'm old. So for somebody like Diddy, the last thing you want employees to have kept is a diary. And so now we have proof that at least one of the employees kept the diary and will be taking the stand. And who knows where that will go from there. But that also brings us to the 2-month delay. Remember, there was the lawyers saying they weren't prepared, and it was more evidence, and they were going for the 2-month delay after the judge already gave them a 2-week delay. And there were so many rumors and speculations as far as why Diddy wanted that time. Most people say the common sense answer is he wasn't prepared, or meaning his legal defense wasn't prepared to begin the trial. Well, in true Mohawk Diddy fashion, we got another reason. And this comes from an insider in the Diddy camp. Is it Stevie J? I haven't seen him in a while, but let me not talk him up before he comes in my comments and defending this boy Diddy again and mad at me for whatever reason. Whoever this source is has revealed. Now, if we think back, I won't even say weird, because some people are into astrology. I'm not going to say weird, but I would say it's at least narcissistic in a way to want to push back. He literally, y'all, wanted to push back the trial 2 months because his astrology ain't right now. Now, when I've been telling y'all, they've been throwing up everything against the wall and seeing what stick and any excuse will do. Here's another example. Diddy says his astrology, something about the moon and the stars ain't lining up the way they need to be lining up, and they will be lining up the correct way in a couple months. This is why he wanted to push the whole trial back 2 months, according to his source. And we're going to get into the article. I just had to give y'all a little prelude of this madness. We've heard the defense team say the iPhone 6 footage of him beating Cassie should be thrown out because it made Diddy look fat. Y'all know the camera puts 10 pounds of weight on you, and he thought that was a reason to get it dismissed. Now we hear he wanted to push the whole trial back. Not to mention, he asked for a speedy trial. Not to mention, there are a lot of other trials that are already scheduled. Their name isn't Diddy. They don't have a gazillion dollars, but they do have trials scheduled that they have to keep. Diddy wants to throw off everybody's schedule so he can make sure the North Star is where it needs to be for his specific trial. Mind you, we have billions of people on this planet, and Diddy wants the whole universe to point in his direction. So let's get into it. What does astrology have to do with Diddy's trial? The 54-year-old music producer allegedly told those close to him, get this, that he believes now is a dangerous time for him to face court because of the planets. Y'all hear me? Diddy thinks this is a dangerous time for him to face court because of the planets. Now, when I first read this, I'm saying, to me, the most dangerous thing that Diddy needs to be worried about is the fucking evidence. Planet Pluto ain't did shit to you, Diddy. Or Mars, or Jupiter, or Uranus, or Venus, or Saturn, Mercury. I just had to floss my little knowledge of the universe, you know. But anyway, Sean Combs, facing serious charges, is not worried about the evidence. He's worried about Mars. Despite his legal team saying the trial delay request was due to missing evidence from the prosecution, sources say Sean Combs had another reason behind the scenes. Now, remember I was telling y'all about how a lot of people forget about the element of human nature. And when you giving people busy work, just because you feel like you can, kind of like they're giving the judge all these, they're filing a million gazillion motions and all kind of crap. Good morning, Yari. They're filing all kind of motions, and I'm like, it's cool, okay to file motions, right? But you can't file motions just to be filing them that have no merit because you're gonna piss the judge off. Remember I said that. The judge is human, like any of us. Now, imagine you're already pissed off that they filed this motion that has no merit, talking about pushing the trial back 2 months, when in fact you've given them leeway by pushing it back a couple weeks or pushing the jury selection back. You've given them leeway if you're the judge, and then they come back for 2 months and it's just pissing you off because they asked for a speedy trial, yet they come with they want it pushed back now. Like, which one do you want? Now, I tell you all that to say, now, imagine you're the judge. The judge reads the internet. His family reads the internet. His friends read the internet. He's a human. I don't care what anybody says. Somehow, word will get back. So imagine after all of that, you find out the real reason wasn't even because of the evidence. You find out that Diddy wanted you to push the whole freaking trial back because of some astrology. Now imagine how that judge is going to feel today. He's already pissed. I am telling y'all, Diddy has got on this judge's bad side before the trial even started. And that's going to be crazy. That's not going to work out for him. I would just say that. I don't believe so. It's not the path to victory. An insider said Diddy was very concerned about the current astrology conditions. He didn't like the astrology timing with Mercury in retrograde, recent eclipses, and other planetary movements. He believes this is the worst possible time to go on trial, this source revealed. Now, this brings me back to Gene Deal and what he said, because there are some people that might think, nah, Diddy, well, he wouldn't care about no stars and astrology. Well, if you go back to listen to Gene Deal, and he talks about Diddy's behavior during the infamous J-Lo, Diddy, Shine incident, the shooting incident that took place in the club, and Shine ended up getting railroaded. Many people said the Diddler fired the weapon. He ran from the police, yada, yada, yada. I don't have to go through all that. J-Lo trying to avoid being taken to understand as of right now. But Gene Deal told a story that I want to tell y'all, remind y'all of, that will add credence to this. He said when they were on their way to the sentencing, he said Diddy had some guy, he met some guy, I don't know what type of worshiper or whatever this person was, at a park. And he said that they pulled over. Diddy said, let's pull over here before we go to the sentencing. Got out of the vehicle with Gene. If you don't know who Gene Deal is, he was Diddy security back in the day. He's blown the whistle on a lot of this Diddy crap. And so they pull over. You know, they headed to the sentencing for that Shine trial. They pull over and they meet this guy. This guy says some type of worshiping chant, whatever. And he takes a live bird. He places that live bird into Mohawk Diddy's hands. And he instructs Diddy to say some type of chant himself. And Diddy does it, according to Gene Deal. And then the person instructed Diddy to now let go of the bird and let it go. And Diddy lets go of the bird, kind of tosses it, and the bird falls flat to the ground like concrete. This is all according to Gene Deal. But Diddy did that and did other things like that. He believes in this other things controlling things. Another thing, a lot of rumors are swirling that Diddy was into some type of worshiping, devil worshiping. I don't know. I don't want to say, but some type of demonic worshiping. And many believe Anthony Rico, who was Diddy's attorney, who left and said, I can't deal with this. Many believe a lot of that worshiping stuff came out, and he said, hey, look, I can't represent this guy. Now, that's speculation. I haven't been able to confirm the worshiping, whatever stuff Diddy was saying, but there's a lot of people saying it. And between Diddy burning sage and talking about frequencies and all of that type of stuff, one could believe that he would be looking at the astrology and trying to push the whole fucking trial back because of that. Now, it goes back to the judge, why the judge said, because, you know, a judge is supposed to be unbiased. And judge went through all the paperwork and he said, Diddy, I am unclear how you could not be ready. The superseding indictment, 90% of the superseding indictment was stuff that you already had, you were already privy to. 10% of it was new stuff, and you got 4 high-powered legal teams. How in the fuck are you not going to be ready for trial time? And we've been talking about this trial for months and months and months and months. Now we see why. We knew it was gamesmanship. We knew it was something more to it, but it's just Diddy being Diddy. He feels like he can control the whole court system. Diddy wants the whole court system to acquiesce to him and his demands. The moon and the stars ain't lining up. Push my whole trial back. I don't care about nobody else. And see, this is what got him in trouble in the first place. Being egocentric. It's a lot of people's problem. You think the whole universe revolves around you and everything you say is the gospel. That's a fucked up mentality. It does not revolve around you. A matter of fact, when that mentality will come back to bite you. Ask Diddy. So this is just another example of why I say he's cooked. Another example of why I say he's crock potted, deep fried, waffle maker. Matter of fact, I love those waffle. When you go to the places where they let you make your own waffle, those things taste so good. But that's got nothing to do with today. Panini grill. And this is why I say it, because he is tearing his own a-hole, as my people used to say. And so, as we pay attention, we're going to continue to pay attention. There is a hearing this week. I haven't been able to get a solid information about what they are exactly covering, but I'm gonna be all over it for the Flow Show No Filter. Every day at 7:30 we start, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we had a lot of craziness go on yesterday. Did anybody catch the Kanye West situation? Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. This is horrific. And if you're not trying to hear nothing horrific out of Kanye West's mouth this morning, then you might want to stand down on this one. This comes from Yahoo Entertainment. Real quick before I go into the article, Kanye West tweeted yesterday that he has a song, and for the first time he revealed that he was giving his cousin head for some time while he was a child. Very, very, very sad situation. I don't know what's going on with Kanye West. All I could do is pray for him. So this article says Kanye West shares he had a sexual relationship with his male cousin until he was 14. As I take a deep breath, I'm gonna dive into this article. This is a tough one, y'all. But we don't run from any stories here on the Flow Show No Filter, and we gonna talk about whatever needs to be talked about. So many of y'all hit me on social media and asked me, did I see this? Because I didn't make a video about it, but I did see it, and we're gonna talk about it today. So Kanye West, the article goes on to say Kanye West has posted another disturbing message to X on Monday, but this time it was not about Hitler. The rapper claimed to have had an incestuous relationship with his cousin until he was the age of 14 years old. West made the revelation as he shared a video for the song Cousins, which begins with the lyrics, hanging out with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. This song is called Cousins, says Kanye, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 16. And then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Jay, and I sucked my cousin's you-know-what till I was 14, Kanye West tweeted out. The reason why I didn't make a video about this is because this is horrific. It's triggering. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the right words to say when someone says something like this. it's just sad, and it explains a lot of Kanye West's anger and frustrations that come out, especially without having his mother to talk to. I'm sure his mom could talk to him and talk him through things. She's not here. And then to come out and say that, and I as much as you don't want it to be true, I also don't want to think he would just say something like this for shock value. So I'm going to take him at his word for the sake of sensitivity. And so even as a parent or just in general, or people that love Kanye, it breaks your heart when someone comes out and say something like this and you're like, wow, all this time I never knew. And you just don't know how to take it. And kid trauma is traumatic. I remember one time I was at my Uncle Jim's house and there was a family setting. I was like 7 years old. And all the kids were in the back, and then they had my Uncle Jim's a girlfriend he was dating at the time. She was quote unquote babysitting us. And we would sit on the couch and we were watching it. This is so long ago. I believe we were watching the old movie called Weird Science or something like that. And so I'm on the couch. I'm sitting next to the babysitter made me sit next to her. I'm sitting next to her. All the kids, it's like 15 kids in there. We're all in there. We're all cousins and this and that. I'm sitting on the couch. And so we watched the movie. We on the couch and we got the covers on. And I'm sitting there. I'm 7 years old. The babysitter puts her fucking hands down my pants. I'm 7 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the weirdest feeling. I just froze. I'm like, what the fuck? Even as a kid, I'm like, what the fuck? Then she takes my hand and put it down her pants. And I'll never forget that shit, the feeling of it or anything, because I was so young. I didn't even know people had fucking hair down there. I was like, what the fuck is this? And y'all know what saved me? My auntie, Tanya, just so happened to come back to the room at that moment and said, what's going on back here? Y'all calm down, open the door. And this fucking freaky ass babysitter didn't even take her hands off my pants but my auntie didn't know it was a cover, so she couldn't see. But I'm telling y'all, I was a pistol even at like when it came to people fucking with me, even as a kid. And so what I did was I leaned my pelvis all the way up and made it to where she had to take her hands out, and I took my hands out. And I swear to God, if my auntie Tanya did not so happen to come back there and say that, to this day, Tanya probably don't even know she did this. Because after that, Tanya went back to the front and I made so much of a scene, that fucking babysitter didn't touch me no more. I'm telling that story because I'm letting y'all know how traumatic any type of sex, that's nowhere near this story that Kanye West is telling, which could be traumatic not only for him, but for the young man or the guy who knows if that propelled him to do that crazy stuff to get him in jail. You just never know what the hell. My point is, you never know what the hell is going on, y'all. And so when I see shit like this, it makes me realize my story is nothing compared to these stories. And most people wouldn't know my story. So when Kanye West comes out like with this, I see two people affected, not only him, but the guy who ended up, his cousin, who ended up going to jail for life, Who knows how this shit impacted them? And one thing about freaks, unless you are standing 10 toes, see, I was quiet, but I was always the type that I didn't give a fuck who you was, and you weren't gonna just do whatever to me, even with me being quiet. Like I never was like that. So that's how I was able to escape a lot of that stuff because I wasn't the kid. The only thing I regret is not saying nothing to nobody when I was a kid. But I was 7 years old. I didn't even know what the fuck to say. I didn't know if I was gonna get in trouble. I didn't know. So I didn't say anything. I was 21 before I even told anybody. So when people say, well, why didn't they say anything? I'll be just like, shut the fuck up. They didn't say anything because they're fucking kids and you don't know what to say. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard when people say that. Why did they wait so long to say something? Because we are kids. People are kids and don't know what the fuck to say. What do you mean? Your brain isn't developed. You don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to get in trouble. Now, my old ass self know I wouldn't get in trouble, but I'm going to know that at 7 years old. But let me tell you how far freaks will go. And just what saved me is maybe the intuition that my auntie Tanya had, who's always been a close aunt to me, that came back in that room and opened the door and gave me a out. But do y'all know, like months later, I was over my other uncle's house and this same babysitter was over there. And I was outside playing ball. I played with myself a lot. No, not that way. But I was the type of kid, I would entertain myself all the time. I didn't really need a lot of friends. I was like fine in my own world. Matter of fact, I was so imaginative with my brain and my toys and my little He-Mans and all that. I kind of didn't like when friends would get in the way because I had my own little storyline going. So I'm outside playing ball, kickball. This fucking freaky babysitter comes out there and asks me, do I want to go in the bushes? I said, hell no. And then I ran in the house and I never seen her again since that day. But it just shows you the mental capacity of these freaky motherfuckers walking around. And so if anybody has a question or asks me why I do what I do, that's fucking why. But I was lucky. Two things were lucky for me. One thing, I was lucky that my aunt Tanya came back there and just told everybody to sit down and everybody making too much noise. And I'm lucky that the kids were making noise. I'm lucky that, but I'm also lucky that God made me the type of person that I'm just not going to let anybody rub me the wrong way without speaking my mind to them. See, the person I am today, to my core, I was the same person at 7 years old. You're not going to press me to do shit ever. But it's a lot of people who aren't that lucky or not born like that. And I totally get how this shit happens to people and they don't say nothing and they don't stop it. Because they just don't have that. They might not have been born with that fight in them and they kind of just lay back and let stuff happen. So I don't blame anybody. I don't judge anybody. I'm just glad that God made me this way where at 7 years old, I tell them, hell no. No, I'm not. Fuck out of here. Took my ass in the house and never seen her again. Like I said, my only regret was not saying nothing. That's my only regret. I believe I handled it right. I believe that it didn't really, I didn't let it affect me unless it's affecting me. And I don't know. Only way it's affecting me is it makes me stand up for people who have been through shit. And I'm the right person to stand up. Because if y'all in my comment sections, y'all follow me on social media, if y'all listen to this podcast, y'all know I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm going to stand up for victims. If they real victims, if they not real victims, then we going to call them out and say that's not a real victim. But I'm going to stand up for victims until I'm not here no more. Because I know the wild shit that goes on and how it affects people. And I also know it's a difficult thing to deal with. Especially when you're in society that says stupid shit to victims like, Why did they wait so long to say something? You got people like that around. You just like, why? That right there tells you why they waited, because you got people like you who that's what you're concerned with. A person is saying, this person did some sexual shit to me, and the first thing you wondering is why did you're thinking about the timeline of them saying it just ain't cool. And speaking of it, I know y'all saw what happened to Shannon Sharp, or what's going on with Shannon Sharp and his 50 million. His 50 million is he's being sued on some Diddy stuff. Now, I'm gonna go right out. Y'all already know I keep it real with y'all. I don't pander. Y'all know exactly where I come from. First and foremost, I am a Shannon Sharp fan. Been a Shannon Sharp fan since the 90s, back in the day, at watching the Denver Broncos. You know, I was 7 years old. By the time I was 7 years old, I felt like I was 30 years old. So I was watching Shannon way before the podcast days. And then, of course, in the podcast space, he kind of motivated me to join the podcast space. I've just always been a fan of Shannon Sharp's. Like I said, it goes back to his football days. I was a fan of Shannon Sharp 30, 40, damn near 35 years ago. And so, but he has these recent allegations that have come out, and 90% of the world is saying that they think it's a money grab. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't disagree, but we're gonna go over this this story and see what's going on with Shannon Sharp. And the woman says he raped her a couple times. And the thing about this story is, this is from recent. When I first saw the headline, I just knew it would be something from a long time ago or something, just some type of allegation from back in the day. But this is actually in the last couple years. So that's another thing that's kind of like, wow, okay. So this comes from CNN. You know, I like to spread it around. Let's give CNN some shine today on the publication side. But a Pro Football Hall of Famer and podcast star Shannon Sharp sued for sexual assault and battery. Former NFL tight end Shannon Sharp has been accused of multiple instances of assault, sexual assault, battery, and the lawsuit was filed on Sunday by a Jane Doe, which Shannon Sharp and his legal team have exposed who the Jane Doe is, and we'll get to that in a second. Shannon Sharp's legal representatives called the lawsuit an attempt to shake down the popular podcaster for millions of dollars, and he categorically denies the allegations. In the suit filed in Las Vegas District Court, Jane Doe accuses the popular host of Club Shay Shay of manipulating and controlling her during a nearly 2-year period that started in 2023 as a consensual relationship when the woman was 20 years old and Shannon Sharp was in his mid-50s. The civil complaint alleges Sharp, at 56, violently and sexually assaulted this plaintiff in her rear. And then in October 2024, again in January of this year, in Las Vegas, Nevada, she claims he blatantly ignored her request for him to stop. Now, a lot of people, let me stop right there and give you some context. So one thing, by me having a very popular social media following and pages, I do get a lot of opinions to kind of see what people are saying as a whole. And I'm going to tell you right now, what people are saying as a whole is most people think that this is a money grab. I mean, I'm talking about 90. I've got like thousands of comments, and like 90% of them are that. And a lot of people are also saying that they feel that it's funny that, right, he just announced that he was getting an enormous podcast deal for $100 million. And they think that has something to do with it. I don't know. I'm just giving you all the facts and what's everything that's being said, and it's up to you to decide what you think about this situation. Let me continue. The suit also states that after many months of manipulating and controlling a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharp refuses to accept the answer no and graped the plaintiff despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. Now, when asked if the Jane Doe had contacted police during or after the assault, the plaintiff attorney, Tony Busby, said he could not comment. Now, this brings us to another thing that a lot of people are saying. A lot of people they're saying that, well, why didn't you contact the police? Why aren't you going for criminal charges? This is a lot like this particular suit. This is the one suit out of all these suits where the big majority of the public perception or the public is actually behind Shannon Sharp on this. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. You can go to my page and look at the comments. I posted about it, and you can look at the comments. But a lot of people are saying, why did you go to police? Also, Tony Busby, it started off strong for Tony Busby, but as of late, between the Jay-Z dismissal and then his own cases, Tony Busby, his own cases of doing wrong have come out. He's fighting all of that. At this moment right now, people aren't, the general public is not feeling Tony Busby. So even his name being on this is actually where it used to be. When you saw Tony Busby's name, it was like, oh shoot. Like, you know me, I'm a big Browns fan. I told you the story about how Deshaun Watson got in trouble and was dealing with Tony Busby, and we thought it was going to be nothing. Next thing we know, Tony Busby had 20-something victims on Deshaun Watson, and his career has been ruined. Like Watson's whole everything is over. And so when we see Tony Busby's name, you would assume like, oh, this is over. It's, Tony Busby don't play. Well, that has changed. Now, for the moment, when the general public sees Tony Busby's name attached, it's not actually a good thing for the victim, but we'll see how it plays out. I'll continue. The attorney told CNN, it takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court. Sharp's attorney said the woman is attempting to blackmail his client and that the pair's relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. We got some of those text messages, and if you hang on, I'm going to go ahead and go through them. I'm going to try to change some words because it is freaky deaky. The lawyer goes on to say Sharp looks forward to his vindication through due process and judgment based on facts, not opinion. The complaint is seeking $50 million. It could be, they're saying it could be more, it could be less. You know how that goes. But we'll get into those text messages in a second as I pull them up. And immediately what happened was this story dropped. And once this story dropped, Shannon Sharp and his legal team came back immediately. They came back immediately and posted receipts of this woman saying and saying all kind of things. It's hard for me to repeat some of them without just talking nasty up here. I'm like not trying to do that. So let's get into some of these statements. And so this is supposed to, from Shannon Sharp's angle, this is supposed to prove that this was consensual. So first of all, this is public record because he posted it and every blog has posted it. The Jane Doe is apparently Gabriella Zuniga is her name. Every blog, everybody has posted it, even Shannon Sharp on his page. So as far as the public, she's not a Jane Doe anymore. But remember the time frame of when this happened, or when she said this happened. She said it took place in October and also in a January. So here's one text message that Shannon Sharp revealed. It's from October 7th. She says, I know you missed this big juicy blank, 25,000 for each cheek. Also, Gabrielle, she also text, only if you put that baby in me, I want a big black baby. Now, when I read these text messages, one thing I say is I just wouldn't like anybody telling me they want me to put a big black baby in them. Something about that doesn't sound like right to me. I don't know. Then she said, that's my daddy, put it in there. Whatever. I'm not going through all the text messages. They are online. Like, you can go check them out yourself. But Shannon Sharp has released the receipts on that. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm not in the bedroom with them, so I don't know what went on. Because one thing about it, a woman can say no. Say yes 99 times. If she says no one time and you still go forward, you got problems. So, although I don't want to believe or don't believe that Shannon Sharp has did anything, but I also understand it only takes one time, and sometimes people don't understand how technical that can be. So there have been cases where it's been consensual relationship, and one particular time the woman said no, and it kind of still went down, and the man got in trouble for that, big trouble. So these type of cases I proceed with caution. But as always, I'm gonna give y'all what I think, but I also know things can happen, and so we're gonna wait and see. This just broke yesterday, but I'm gonna give y'all some real talk as far as me. Just in general, I've always been just hard to trust people outside of my family and outside of my friends. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have the same friends for like 35, 40 years. I've had a big family. That's all I know. Is almost like the mafia in a sense, where all I knew was my family growing up. So I had a problem trusting strangers, but I'm gonna tell y'all now and recently, I'm just scared to be around anybody, male or female, if I don't know them, just because I just don't know how to handle it if somebody just says, people can just say things and then the public runs with it and you kind of don't have a choice. And so I'm kind of froze right now. It's a lot of people that want to hook up with me or link up and this and that. I'm being straight honest with y'all. I'm just staying away from everybody unless I've known you my whole life, just because I've always believed better safe than sorry. And I'm saying that because, all that extra freaky stuff people are into or used to be into, it's a dangerous time. Because what they're saying about this Shannon Sharp incident is this woman has a tape, but she sent the edited version to the legal counsel in hopes of scoring some money. But this is the crazy part about this tape. And this is why if you put yourself in dangerous situations where you have to explain what's going on because you're doing some extra freaky stuff, it could come back to bite you. Because she has a tape, and they're not saying what's happening, but from what the Shannon Sharp side is saying and what the young lady side is saying, it sounds like some choking and some crazy sexual stuff is going on in this tape, because Shannon Sharp side is saying they believe she purposely recorded this tape during a role, I guess like a role playing situation where she knew it was going to look crazy. And so she recorded it and edited it and sent it over to them, trying to get money before all this stuff hit the fan. And so what the legal team wanted was the original recording with no edits, no nothing. And she has yet to produce that. She has yet to produce that. So if I'm just reading the tea leaves, I think from all of their text messages, and I don't even want to read all. It's so trifling, and it's just, that's personal, nasty sex stuff between two people talking. But if you read them, they had one of those, role playing, extra freaky, might choke you in the bed. I don't know. But my point is, you can't be doing that shit if you want to avoid being in these predicaments. I'm not choking nobody. I'm not doing none of that extra stuff these days at all. I'm just not. I'm not putting myself. I don't even know who I'm going to talk to, y'all. 2 years ago, I was off the radar, living my best quiet life. Today, I'm alive and I'm known. And everybody knows what I am, who I do, and that I'm popular, and that I'm doing this, and I've made it, and blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I am paranoid. Even in this situation, even having a podcast, I've had people, male and female, that have ran with different narratives, and I don't even talk to them. I just try to be respectful to everybody, whether I just know you from the internet or I know you in real life. I'm not asking anybody for anything, and people will take anything and run with it. And then you have people who don't care about the facts and run with that. And these people started off as people or females that liked me. And so I'm always paranoid with females who like me and are around me because they like me, not around me because they like what I do or they like what I'm saying. They're just trying to get my attention. And I'm froze. I don't know. So I'm going through that, y'all. I don't know who I'm gonna talk to. I don't want to be in no position and somebody just come out and say some shit because they trying to clout chase me. So I'm actually figuring out what the hell to do. I've actually told my best friend at this point, the only way I'm comfortable with even meeting a woman or meeting new people is they got to come from referrals. So I told my best friend, Darnell, y'all know him. I said, hey, look, you're going to have to find me some a companion, because at this point, I don't trust anybody. I don't want to meet anybody. But if they come through a referral, I figure at least I got a shot that I have somebody else to co-sign what the hell is going on. I'm being straight honest with y'all. For example, y'all know Drewski. Or if you don't know him, a lot of the young folk know him. He's a comedian. Well, he had got wrapped up into this Diddy mess. Let me give this example and tell y'all why I'm paranoid and why I'm just trying to stay away from everybody. I try not to get too close to people because people will run with stuff. And it's like, I'm just in my own little world talking about news. I'm not asking anybody for anything out the ordinary. I try to spread love and bring up everybody's mood. And I still had tiny little fires of people just taking shit and running with it. And I'm like, shit, I don't even know these people. So my antenna just went through the roof. So back to Drewski. So, Drewski had caught up in a lawsuit with Odell Beckham, and I think it was Jaguar Wright was in that one. And a young lady said Drewski raped her, and he jumped on her like a slip and slide, and he had baby oil all over him and all of that. Well, guess what just came out yesterday? Drewski, this was supposed to happen in California. Drewski not only produced bank statements from when this was supposed to happen, I think it was 2018. Not only did he produce bank statements that showed he had like $3 to his name, that's one thing. But he has also produced phone records that show and have been confirmed that he was in Georgia the entire time he was supposed to be in California raping this woman. And so on the Flow Show No Filter today, I definitely want to bring that to y'all. Drewski has been cleared. Because on the Flow Show No Filter, yes, we definitely stand up for victims, but we also clear names when they need to be cleared. And I'm gonna always do that because now I'm in the public eye. That's what I tell people when they cover these cases. Some people get mad, but it's like, no, I believe victims, but I definitely will clear names. I'm not an idiot. I understand I'm in the public eye. There could come a time somebody could be mad at me or hear that I'm getting some big podcast deal, and next thing I know, they saying I did X, Y, and Z, and not everybody running with it. I could be in the same shoes. I'm no better than anybody else. And so I just hope that if that time ever came, I pray it doesn't, because one thing about me, I ain't no big freak. I'm kind of regular with it in that department, and I'm glad. You can go back to as far as you want. I'm regular. I ain't never been into nothing too crazy. I ain't wired like that. But I'm not fucking around, y'all. I work too hard. I work too hard to put myself in any type of position. I don't care where I'm at. If I'm there and it's people around that I don't know, I'm gonna be right next to my best friend. I'm gonna be right next to my damn mom. I'm gonna be right with somebody I know. I don't even go out to the club, or not just the club, but just to go and social. If I don't got a family member with me, I'm not going. I just don't trust it. And it's not anybody's fault. It's not the victim per se. It's the world we live in. And news travels fast, and people are starving for money. And then we have so many real monsters, like the monsters I've been naming on this podcast, like the monsters I dealt with at 7 years old. We have so many of those that it always sounds believable. So I don't even put the particular blame on anybody. I'm just saying, if you are a person in position and in front of in the limelight, or whatever you want to call it, then you can't be running around and being all extra freaky and extra like controlling. A lot of stuff people with money do that was cool 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. You can't do that shit today. You can't be controlling women in any kind of way, because it could be taken the wrong way. My dad always taught me, don't complain about the way it is. Handle yourself accordingly. Meaning, you may think it's okay to get all extra crazy, freaky, sexual, and kind of be more aggressive and force. I don't want to say force, but get aggressive on a woman or this or that, or just using your money and power. You might think it's not nothing wrong with it, as long as you're not technically graping someone as what you think is great. But you aren't the deciding factor. It's the judge, it's the jury, it's other people involved. So my point is, you have to be extra cautious, because two things could have happened. Shannon Sharp could have actually did what she's saying, and this could turn into something super crazy for him, right? That's option number one. Option number one, he raped her. She was saying he thought everything was cool. She said no, and he went forward anyway and didn't think it was a big deal until now it is. That's one option. But the second option could be, let's say, what Shannon Sharpe is saying. It could be that they had a planned planned sexual encounter, that they all, they role plays. They, I know people who are into choking their partners or getting choked or wanting you to choke. I mean, that I'm sure I'm not the only one heard of that. And so if a person says, she could say, okay, well, I'm gonna get this one on tape and I'm gonna make it look like he took it from me. And then here comes the edit footage. So you have both scenarios. If I'm Shannon Sharpe, I'm not in them scenarios. Get you a woman, one woman, preferably a mature woman close to your age, or at least a mature woman that's super mature for her age, or whatever, whatever floats your boat. Get you one, calm the fuck down, and sit down and continue on with your success of what your business is. That's the fuck I'm trying to do. All these women, this and that, I just want one and just get married and continue to doing my podcast, and that's it. I don't want no meal. I don't want a different woman every week. I don't want all that, because it's dangerous. So if you in your, and this is just some real talk that I'm giving Shannon, because Shannon Sharpe like to talk and tell everybody what they should do on his show, and he has some good knowledge. But this is some real talk to for Shannon Sharpe. If you in your mid 50s, and you dating and doing all and being extra sexual through text messages with a 20-year-old, it could go left. I guarantee you, a 40-year-old in Shannon Sharpe, with Shannon Sharpe, the scenario will probably be a little different. So I'm not here to point blame. I'm not here to say who right, who wrong, because I don't know. I wasn't there. The story just coming out. It would be irresponsible for me to stand 10 toes on anything at this point. I'm going to let more of the stuff come out. But what I can say is, just like Shannon Sharpe, when he look into his camera and he give advice to Ocho and tell everybody what they need to do, in your mid 40s, a successful man, you need to stay away from 20-year-olds. In general, it might not be a lawsuit. It's 1,000 things that can go wrong. I wouldn't hang with my 20-year-old self right now. Not because I was the wildest motherfucker alive, just because a 20-year-old is just in a totally different space than somebody in their mid 50s. So again, not passing judgment on anybody. I don't know, enough hasn't come out, but it just sounds like a mid 50-year-old man, successful, doing his thing in the public eye, getting extra raunchy and sexual with a 20-year-old just sounds like it could be a recipe of disaster. The 20-year-old woman, she ain't found herself yet. So she may make decisions that she gonna regret. She's 20 years old. She's still a kid. I know when I was 20 years old, I wasn't nowhere near I wasn't nowhere near my 30 and 40-year-old self at 20 years old. So it's just a dangerous situation that you put yourself in. And those are the type of situations I'm avoiding. You can ask my fucking best friend. You can ask him yourself. I am being strategic when it comes to dating or meeting a woman, all of that. You got to come from referral. You're not DMing me and I'm just showing up, or none of that. I'm just not. I just don't trust shit. And I just want to do as much as I can to keep myself in a position where if somebody do say something, And the proof will be able to come out. I wasn't nowhere near. I wasn't around. I don't know that person because I'm staying the fuck away. My friends got to find me somebody. You got to come through Darnell. If you don't come through him, I'm not dating you. And that's just how I choose to handle it. How Shannon Sharp and the rest of them handle it, that's their business. But I'm just being straight transparent with y'all. That's a part that of this blowing up shit that I am talk about is almost impossible to find somebody, because who the fuck do you trust? Who do you trust? I don't know. Anybody can say anything about me. So it's like, I'm just noided, paranoid. In Cleveland, we call that noided. When we say noided, that means paranoid. That's some Cleveland slang. And that's how I am. So we'll see what comes of this Shannon Sharp situation. As all the stories, a lot of evidence is going to come out. 90% of everybody is behind Shannon, believe he didn't do it. But I will caution everybody to just wait and see, let everything come out, because we just never know. As of right now, my heart of hearts does not want to believe or does not believe that Shannon Sharp would do anything this crazy, especially a year or two ago. Even, you got to think, even within the past couple of years, we've had so much sexual assault stuff come out. He would have to be the dumbest man alive to do anything to jeopardize himself in the last 2 years. But we'll see. But as always, we got to thank the people that make this possible, make this podcast possible, make it possible for me to come up here and give candid opinions about cases and speak up for victims, and also clear names or whatever it takes. We can cover what we want, and that's because of the subscribers who subscribe to this channel. I had somebody hit me in the fan mail saying, how do I subscribe? I'm going to explain it again. You can either hit the notes, show notes, either on your phone or on Facebook. You'll see the little where the caption is. You'll see the link to Buzzsprout subscriber. That's how you subscribe to the podcast. The minimum is a $3 donation for a subscription. You can give as much as your heart's desire. Much appreciated. But I always take time out of every show to shout out the new subscribers who brought this show to you. If you want your shout out, and if you want to keep truth alive and continue to support me on this journey of podcasts of truth telling, unbiased, I give y'all my real opinions on everything. People don't understand that's not an easy thing, because some people, they appreciate your candidness until it's something that they don't want to hear. When in my mind, I always think, if you think I'm going to say something, if I'm going to give you my true feelings, and you think every day for 2 hours, Monday through Friday, every day I'm going to say what you want to hear, and I'm telling you the truth, I don't even know why you were here in the first place. At some point, I'm going to say something that you don't like. That's what truth telling is about. Truth telling isn't about saying what you want to hear. It's about saying the truth. The truth don't give a fuck who want to hear it or not. It's just the truth. And that's what I'm going to bring. I don't care who gets mad because I might have a take on this issue and now you're mad. Kick rocks. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm not here. I know what to say that everybody wants to hear. You think I'm not smart enough to do that? If I want to do that, I'm not doing it. I want my community to support me and appreciate that I get up here every day and tell y'all exactly what I feel and give y'all all the facts so y'all are free to feel how y'all want to feel. I'm not up here, trying to coach everybody to think what I think. That's not my thing. Other people, other podcasters, other YouTubers, that's their thing. They want their whole community to agree with everything they say, and everybody just stays on one side of shit. That's not me. So I just appreciate everybody who supports, and I shout you out. So let's see who we got today. And before we get out of here, I do got one more thing to say too after this, after we shout out our people and our shoppers. And I got to shout out to shoppers. who have spent money at andidon'tlikeit.com, got shirts, hoodies, everything, y'all. So supportive. So check it out. Today's subscriber of the day is Judy, and she says yes, spelled with 2 U's. Smirk face. Judy Jones with an $8 subscription. Clap it up. Clap it up. Come on down. Makes me feel so good, Judy. I appreciate it. Everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat. Let's give Judy her flowers and appreciate her because of her, this episode came. And I appreciate Judy because Judy gave $8. She don't want to just sit back and hear me tell all my deepest, darkest secrets and call out everybody and risk my life and lose celebrity relationships because I'm giving you all the truth. She don't want to sit back and just watch me do that for free. She said, you know what, Flo? I'm a back you up and I'm gonna do an $8 subscription. And Judy, I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it because this is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy job. It would be much easier for me to come in here, talk about the Browns, talk about the Cavs, get the easy sponsorships. They throwing money at me. But I don't want to talk about that shit. I want to talk about this real shit. I want to stand up for victims that have been through shit like me and hold people accountable. And that's what I want to do with my time. And as long as I'm doing that, I appreciate for everybody to subscribe and support the show. Like I said, Judy gave $8. Clap it up again for her. She could have gave $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, but she chose to give $8. And that warms my heart because you don't realize how many people will sit back and quietly watch you risk your life and just not give you a 1 penny, but just watch all your stuff. So Judy, shout out to you and shout out to everybody who has subscribed and made this show a success, putting us in the top 5% of all podcasts of all time on Apple and Spotify. Of all time, since the podcasts were invented, we are downloaded more than 95% of every podcast that every podcast did. So that goes out to y'all. Shout out to y'all for that. Also, shoppers, everybody order is officially out. Even yesterday, someone placed an order. I think her name is Antoinette. Your order was placed yesterday. I told y'all I am handling it, so everything will be just like I am, on time, dependable. That's how I get on. We started the show in October. I've only took 2 holidays off since October. I've been here every day at 7:30. So I just greatly appreciate the shopper. So Antoinette, just want to let you know that your order is on its way. Antoinette spent about $80 in the And I Don't Like It store. She got an And I Don't Like It t-shirt that everybody's getting those t-shirts. She got a t-shirt. I think she got a Flow Show No Filter coffee mug. I'm not for sure, but all I know is, Antoinette, your merch is on the way. You ordered it yesterday. It's shipped out yesterday. I don't play about my community. Thank you, Antoinette. So everybody shout out Antoinette and go ahead and check out And I Don't Like It. I got shirts coming out this Friday. One shirt is these celebs are so quiet you can hear a cat pissing on cotton. I got the I'm not a professional, I am just good. And I also have I Love Y'all, But I'm Out coming out this Friday. And I got a really sweet cartoon picture of my face that I'm putting on there. It's some great merch. So check it out. Definitely want to make sure that I show love to everybody that show love to me. It's definitely not easy to get up here and give everybody your opinion, especially when you got hundreds of thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people watching you, not just on podcasts, but on social media. And all they want to do is come attack what you're saying instead of just articulating what you feel. I tell you what I feel. You can say what you feel. You don't have to attack me. Use your voice to say your thoughts. I said mine. So that's how I look at it. So when you go in the comment section, use that time to articulate how you feel. Don't base how you feel off of what I feel. You got your own brain. You got your own mind. Use it. I'm really baffled at that. I'm like, who wants to waste? I don't waste time going to somebody's comment, going off on their video or their views. I'm going to go in there and articulate what I feel. And that's it. So I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna be checking out what's going on in this Diddy situation with this hearing that we're supposed to have this week. So I'm still digging and seeing what the hell is going on with that, what to expect, and when I get that news, I'm gonna bring it to you. But ain't nothing left for me to say today. Except bye. As always, I love y'all, but I'm out. Boom, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. Doom, doom, doom. Another one bites the dust. And another one. And another one. And another one bites the dust. Oh, it didn't mute. Usually it mutes. It didn't mute. So y'all know this is the time of the show where we just talk about, I answer some questions. I get Apple and Spotify loaded up so that they can hear what we talked about today. How's everybody feeling? Hope everybody enjoyed the show. This is a little tough one for me with all the there was a lot nastiness to talk about today, but we not gonna duck no smoke. We gonna talk about whatever needs to be talked about. If I gotta tell you some shit I went through, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not scared to say what I've been through or to share my experiences. I always will. And another one bites the dust. So what you ran? Hey, look. The one thing you can't do is you can't tell people what to do. My life story. So you can either come here and enjoy what's going on, or you can take your ass somewhere else. You only got two choices. But trying to control what another man do with his platform, that ain't gonna never work out for you. It's actually just wasting your time. So I wouldn't want you to waste your time, bro. So go ahead, either enjoy it or kick rocks. Either way is fine with me. But yeah, y'all, so we getting Apple and Spotify loaded up. And hey, Nadreema, look at Nadreema in here. Nadreema woke up late today. Well, hey, my Nadreema. Everybody say good morning to Nadreema. This is the Flow Show. You want to ask me about Flow? I got everything I can tell you about the Flow and the Flow Show. Let me get this loaded up. Oh shoot. So give me a second, y'all. I am loading Apple, Spotify. One second. KLML. Today the 22nd, y'all. Today the 22nd. Yes. So as we get Apple and Spotify loaded up, let me look at the comments. What y'all think about all? It's so much to talk about. C-Tuck said they was sipping that Shea Laportier. Yeah, hey. Shout out to y'all, Rossi, for hanging in there. Yeah, this is one of those ones. Tessie Bourne, yes. This was one of those ones, man. It's a tough one, but hey, like I said, we don't run from nothing. Not only am I gonna call people out. Oh yeah, you gotta watch it now, Dreamer. This is one of those ones. But just a lot going on. It's a lot going on. We living in some crazy times right now, y'all. Just stay close to your loved ones and pray and stay out of the way. That's what I'm doing. Like I said, I don't know who to talk to. The best thing I can do is just stay close to the people I've been around for, like I said, the past 30 or 40 years. And just try to be as respectful and careful as I can. Yeah, that's sad. But like I said, we'll see how it plays out. The Shannon Sharp, y'all know. If anything, you'll know one thing. It's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out. A lot of stuff is going to be exposed, and we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, Shannon Sharp always giving advice. I want to give him some advice. Just in general, in your mid-50s, talking extra raunchy and doing all that with a 20-year-old, it just ain't the smartest thing to do. In general, whether, I don't know, I'm not going to say if it's true or not true or whatever. I'm staying neutral until I find out more. But like I said, Shannon Sharp loves to give advice. So he needs to take some advice. If I was Ocho, I would light his ass up just on the advice. I would be, because he always want to tell Ocho, I would say, look, man, you can't just be running around with kids and 20-year-olds doing and saying all type of craziness. You asking for it. I wouldn't even, in my mid-50s, I'm a public figure. I don't even want to be texting with no 20-year-old sending them text messages and stuff, because it still makes you look bad. I'm just being honest. Why is you texting back and forth with a 20-year-old in your mid-50s with all this raunchy sex talk? It just sounds like you open yourself up for stuff. So that's why I'm just staying out the fucking way. Out the fucking way. Wouldn't you think that if you were in your mid-50s, I'm being honest, I'm asking everybody in the chat, answer this. You in your mid-50s, you meet a 20-year-old, you don't think all these nasty, crazy text messages would come out and come back to bite you? I would never text. I would never be in no text and no type of relationship with that with nobody 40 years younger than me. It's like you asking for trouble. It's very dangerous. Thank you. Thank you, C-Tuck. I'm telling you flat out, I told Darnell, my best friend, you're going to have to find my wife. She's going to have to come through a referral. That's the only way. I'm not trying to just meet anybody just on the street and then just get all involved and I don't know them from a can of paint and nobody else knows them, just because I just live by the safe, better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. That's my motto. I think everybody is beautiful. I think everybody has a good heart. Some people just don't show it, but I think everybody has a good heart. So I'm not even mad at people. I just want to be safe. I just want to be safe. And so whether you think Shannon Sharp is guilty or innocent, I think we all can agree having raunchy sexting and having raunchy text messages between a nearly 60-year-old and a 20-year-old is just not smart. And I think whether you believe him or not, or believe her or not, I think we all can agree that that's just not a smart way to move. And I wouldn't advise it. I would say, you got everything going on, Shannon. Find you a wife. You got all type of avenues. Find you a wife. Find you one woman that you can trust, and just, like my boy C-Tuck said, cruise on off into the sunset, man. Because running around, it's just not even a good look at all. And you asking for trouble. So that's my 2 cents. Like I said, I'm not here to speak on if it's true or not. I'm I'm still waiting for stuff to come out, but I can say that Shannon Sharpe, with those text messages and knowing that she's 20 years old, just didn't put himself in a great position at all. Nadreema says she's single for a reason. I don't blame you, Nadreema. And I'm speaking for me, but this is for everybody. Everybody has to be careful. Everybody don't have $100 million contract to lose, but we got regular jobs to lose. We got a lot of things we can lose by fooling with the wrong person at the wrong time. So I think everybody should be cautious. If you wake up every day and work hard, you got to work just as hard to keep your shit safe as you did to even get your stuff. And so that's my advice to anybody out there. Just don't, we all work hard for our stuff. Don't trick it off. And when we say that in Cleveland, we say trick it off, not like tricking and pimping. We say trick it off mean you messed up a good thing or you messed something up. Don't trick it off by doing too much and being too loosey-goosey with people you're dealing with. Because you may be breaking laws that you didn't even know you were breaking. That could be a case too. Shannon Sharpe could possibly have done some things wrong that he didn't even realize were wrong. It's just so many options. So, yeah, like Tabitha say, a 20-year-old, what will we talk about? That's the problem. And you ain't got nothing to talk about. Only thing you can talk about is some shit that might get you in trouble. So if you watch Nightcap, and y'all told you, I'm a Shannon Sharpe fan, but one thing about Shannon Sharpe, he good at telling us how he handles things and how he don't do this and how he would never do that. And he call out people left and right. Well, Shannon Sharpe, it's your turn to put them, to get them listening ears open. Because whether you did what she's saying you did or not, the facts of she's 20, you're damn near 60, and you expose her text messages, but those text messages also reflect on you, bro. Because we're still looking at those text messages and thinking, what 60-year-old man is texting back and forth this type of shit with a 20-year-old? And you can have anybody or anything. You got everything at the tip of your fingers where you could get somebody more in line or closer to where you are in life, or just a more mature person, but you are texting and going back and forth with all these nasty text messages with a 20-year-old. You asking for trouble. So, and I'm sure she's gonna put out his text messages if they're not already in the courts. They may be in the lawsuit. I don't know. Haven't read through the entire lawsuit. But next, Shannon Sharpe's text messages are gonna come out, and people, it's gonna get messy and ugly. And like all these cases, all we can do is sit back and wait for the truth to come out. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Yeah, that's true. See Tuck, you on your bag today. They was already in those ways when they was young. Nobody corrected them, Dreamer. Yeah. Yeah, so y'all, it's definitely, we haven't heard the last of this Shannon Sharpe situation. And unfortunately, we haven't heard the last of these situations, allegations. But I just hope people learn from it and quit. You can't just be doing anything with anybody. And I'm saying that on both sides. Like, you just have to be cautious. And this ain't the 80s and the 90s. This 2025. And things that were okay in the 80s and 90s, they ain't okay now. I don't know how many people gonna have to learn the hard way. Get you one woman and ride off into the sunset. Get you a wife. Just get you a wife and ride off into the sunset. Diddy didn't have a wife. Shannon Sharp doesn't have a wife. All of these situations, they don't have wives. And I'm going to be honest. I've had small little situations like with women who obviously liked me and then they turned on me. And I'm going to be honest. And I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm going to be honest. It was at that moment I realized the power of a wife, because when you have a real wife that's down for you, she protects you against all that bullshit. And so when I went through a few situations where women were attacking me for just because, women I don't even know, I don't have their phone number, they don't have my phone number, I really don't know them from a can of paint. But I don't worry about it because I know my character always gonna speak volumes. I've been this same way since kindergarten. I ain't never been a freaky motherfucker. I'm proud to say that. Shit, it was the time when people looked at you different because you ain't all freaky. Well, them times is over with. Not a freaky motherfuckers is scared. So I'm just going to continue to do whatever I can to stay safe. But I do realize a wife, especially in my position or any position like this, a wife is your protection. Because a wife, not only can she stick up for you, because she can woman to woman. See, a man, I'm not about to be arguing with no woman back and forth. I wasn't raised like that. Women, if you want to argue with me, you already won, because I'm going to say what I got to say, and then I'm done with it. Now, man, we can go back and forth. Women, I just don't. But when you got a wife, she can stick up for you. Also, for some reason, when you have a wife, those women who like you and just want to play games, they don't play games when you got a wife. So in my own world, I've learned the value, and it's a lot more of a value of a wife than that. But I'm just speaking candid to y'all. Recently, I've learned the value and the protection that a wife that gives you. And that's what I want. I don't want no girlfriend. I don't want no different girl every day and every week and all that. People think, oh, you done blew up, you can do this, you can do that. I want one wife that I can trust, that's going to protect me from these people out here that will say and do anything for whatever reason. And so I stand here today and I'm telling y'all, a wife is a valuable thing, man, a good one. And I didn't realize that in my 20s. I somewhat might have realized it in my 30s, but I realize it like a motherfucker now, because I get to look at Shannon Sharp, I get to look at Diddy, I get to look at a lot of people who are either guilty or innocent, whatever. I'm not speaking on guilt or innocence right now. I'm speaking on how unprotected you are as a man when you don't have a wife and you running around here just doing whatever with whatever woman. It's dangerous. Let me check on Apple and Spotify. Still going. So I say all that to say your boy Flo is looking for a wife. I'm not playing around. But my wife got to come through my best friend, Darnell, who is a pastor. And who has been my best friend since I was 4 years old. Anybody I go out with, I'm going back to Cleveland. I know it's a lot of people that I want to meet up and have fun. I'm not meeting up with anybody unless Darnell done vetted them and say, hey, she cool. And he'll probably be coming out there with us, with him and his people. I'm telling y'all, I'm not playing. I worked too hard for this shit. I'm not letting nobody come in and try to say anything. I ain't that pressed about sex like that. So you ain't gonna get me on no sex. I ain't pressed about it like that. I want a wife. I want something real. You can't get me with no try to frame me with no sex. I ain't 20. I ain't 20 no more. I ain't letting no sex get me in trouble. I guarantee you that. All right, so let me get this title this Apple and Spotify is ready. So give me a quick minute. I'll be right back to you. I gotta put the title on this new podcast episode. And then after that, I'll be right back to y'all. Boom, 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 boom. And then just like that, y'all, we are drum roll, please. Come on, internet. And just like that, we are published to Apple and Spotify. Oh no, I ain't looking, Not Dreamer. That's what I said. I'm cool, Not Dreamer. I'm saying I'm not looking at all. I'm just existing. But what I am saying is, my wife coming through a referral. You ain't gonna just drop in my lap. I need to know where you come from. I need to know who you connected to and all of that. I worked too fucking hard to build this shit. For real. I am, that's where I'm at with it. But y'all know I'm gonna always tell y'all the real. Yeah, thank you, Tabitha. No, yeah, he be talking a lot, don't he? He ain't walking the walk at all. And I'm waiting to see what his response is, Tabitha, because like I said, this ain't about guilt or innocent. We're gonna deal with the facts that Shannon Sharp have admitted with these text messages and the fact that they're of their ages. We know those are facts. Those aren't opinions. We know it's facts she was 20 and facts that he was damn near 60. And it's also facts that you got these raunchy, nasty text messages. Her talking about I can't wait for you to put a big black baby in me and all this, and you letting all that, like you good with all that, and you ain't think something was gonna come of that. Shannon Sharp, you better start. Now it's time for you to put your listening ears on and quit preaching and tell everybody what they should be doing, bro. And you need to be listening. And Ocho, if you listening, you should straighten your boy out like he do you. On Nightcap, Ocho, tell Shannon what he need to hear. Now, Dreamer and Tabitha, C-Tuck, y'all been on it today. So, hey, this is just the times we live in, y'all. And, you know, one thing I like about y'all is I can come up here and tell y'all every single thing that goes on and what I feel. And y'all don't judge me. Y'all just appreciate that I'm a strong enough man to come up here and tell y'all exactly how I feel 24/7. You know, you got to be a brave soul to record a podcast dealing with these issues with no edits, no take back. It's real time. Whatever I say, it's out there. You see, I don't record my podcast in the quiet of my own place, edit shit, take this out. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Or they're going to kill me for saying that. Take that out. And now I present it. I'm so real about what I believe and what I stand on. I record my podcast in real time and upload it to the world in real time. Why? Because I don't say shit I don't mean. I don't need to edit it out. Y'all can hear all this shit. Excuse my language. So, like again, it takes two. I couldn't speak about things and be as candid if I didn't have a community that supported me coming out and saying exactly what my truth is. So I want to give y'all credit for that, just as much I give myself credit for fucking saying it. But like I said, everybody don't have that kind of community. I see a lot of other podcasters or YouTubers, they have built their community on pandering. So they better not say nothing outside of what their community want to hear, or they gonna get fried. They gonna get crock potted. But see, I built my community on truth from 2.5, 3 years ago. So my community know it's not about me loving every single thing Flo say. My community is like, we love Flo because he's going to say his truth. And that's the community I want. I don't want to be sitting up here scared to say this, scared to say that, because my community going to go off on me or people going to unsubscribe. I wouldn't even want to do this shit if I had to be like that. I want to be able to come up here, press record, turn this mic on, and tell y'all exactly what I feel from my heart and give y'all the facts, and then turn the fucking microphone off and go about my day. That's what I want to be able to do. So I appreciate y'all for being the type of community that is more about truth than just hearing what we want to hear. Good morning. Good morning, Tony Elkins. What up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up? People don't realize I'm very wise with my words, and I'm very wise with what I say. If I wanted to come up here and pander and just play into a crowd and say whatever they want me to say, I know how to do that. But that's not comfortable to me, because you always got to remember what you said, and you got to keep up with your whatever angle you taking. You got to make sure that's a lot of fucking work. When you just say the truth, you just say the truth. You don't worry about it. You just say it. Hey, it is what it is. I don't have to remember what I said on episode 1. We on episode 131. I don't got to remember what I said on episode 1, because whatever it was my fucking truth. So shout out to all of y'all. Sherry, thank you. Good morning, Sherry. Tony Elkins, thank you for saying I keep it a stack. I sure do, man. And that's the only way I'm gonna ever do it. And so anybody who gets upset about when I keep it 100 or I'm honest and they leave because of that, it's good riddance. I'm happy for you to go, because ain't nobody about to make me feel uncomfortable on my fucking platform that I bust my ass to build. I'm not going to be uncomfortable when I grab this mic. I'm not going to let nobody make me uncomfortable to say what I want to say or I need to say from my heart. So if you feel that way, your ass need to go, not me. This is a lot of work, y'all. So you think I want to be doing all this work on pins and needles because I'm worried about what somebody going to get offended about what I said on my platform? No way. My people going to get my truth all day long. And if anybody that gets pissed off about the truth, goodbye. Like my uncle used to say, arrivederci, motherfucker. Seen you. My uncle used to say that all the time. I used to crack up. But I live the same way, y'all. I appreciate the ones who appreciate truth, and the ones who get mad about truth, sayonara. But nice out to Sherry. Hey, thank you, Sherry, for the I appreciate all the support. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are a big part of what makes this job a pleasure for me to do every day. So I get my ass up and I'm here at 7:30 on the dot because, like I always tell y'all, man, if you got people that's going to support you the way y'all do, the least I could do is show y'all how serious I take my job and how serious I take my platform that you all have helped me build over this short, going up on 3 years. It'll be 3 years. It'll be 3 years in January that I've been on this journey. So we at like the 2.5 year mark right now. Oh yeah, Monique. Oh, Monique, I think, hey, Monique, if you ordered something, Monique, I think your order is on the way too. If you ordered something, because I think I saw your name. So I'm not sure if it was you, but if that was you, if you ordered something from the merch from andidon'tlikeit.com, it is on the way to you. If that was you, Monique, I appreciate all the support. Monique is my first member of my YouTube. You can also sign up for the YouTube, my YouTube exclusive member to support my channel. So shout out to Monique for signing up for that. Matter of fact, I will make sure that I shout everybody out who does that. Oh yeah, yes it is. Okay, thanks, Monique. Yeah, so yours is on the way. Like I told y'all, no shade to whoever was handling and I don't like it.com before. But I told y'all when I took it over, I was going to take 2 weeks to catch up on everybody's order. I have done that. And then ever since then, this past week, everybody who has ordered, I have got their order out the same day. So people are receiving their orders within a week now, 7 days. Your And I Don't Like It t-shirt will be at you approximately 7 days from the time you order it, or my name ain't Flo. Hola. Hola, Luna. Oh, Luna said almost caught up on all episodes. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Luna. I like when my listeners get caught up. I try to make sure I have enough content for y'all. If y'all noticed, the episodes have been my hour and 20 minutes. My YouTube episodes have been damn near 2 hours. Like I told y'all, I come from the world of listening to podcasters, so I know what you want. Like when I listen to my favorite podcasters, I want them to put out as much content as they can because their content helps me get through my day. Much like y'all tell me my content helps y'all get through y'all day, I understand it because the podcasters and YouTubers that I listen to help me get through my day. And when they don't post, I'll be mad. I'll be wanting some new content from them. So I understand that, and that's why I try to give y'all new content every day. If you follow me on social media, then you see me every single day. Podcast Monday through Friday, but I post on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram daily. So I'm in my fans, I'm in my supporters, I'm in y'all face every day, giving y'all new content, showing y'all how much I appreciate that y'all helped me build this amazing platform that I had no idea would even happen. So I will be posting Flow on the Go. Let me announce this to y'all. I forgot. So remember we've been talking about Flow on the Go? I told you Flow on the Go is going to be part of the Flow Show No Filter. It's just going to be coverage of everything when I'm going somewhere. So I am going to Cleveland. My son is turning 18 years old. He is a beautiful soul. Harold, his name is also Harold, but I call him King. I've been calling him King since he was born. And his hair was all on the top of his head like Don King when he was born. He only had hair on the top and it was straight up. He ain't had no hair on the sides. So he looked like Don King to me. And so I called him King. And so I call him King, but his name is Harold. He graduates also. So he turns 18 May 23rd. And then he graduates June 2nd. So I'll be in Cleveland doing all type of stuff, but I will be documenting everything for my YouTube and podcasters everything that goes on in Cleveland, not just with my son, but I am going to be doing a lot, and I'm going to be documenting and recording it all. So Flow on the Go starts roughly around, let's say, May 22nd. So look out for Flow on the Go. We've been talking about it since October when we were coming up with names for this podcast. We talked about Flow on the Go at that time, and I told y'all I would hold on to that concept and use it when the time came, and the time is here now. So be looking out for Flow on the Go starting May 22nd. Yeah, that's exactly. Hey, look, I love what you said, Sherry. This stuff with Shannon got everybody effed up, starting to wonder who is safe, who can be trusted, who's bad, who's good. I know they take down folks for speaking out against the elites. Is Shannon in that category? Because I honestly don't know him like that, really. How exciting, folks. Congratulations to my son. Thank you so much. And I did forget to bring that point up in the earlier podcast, the actual podcast hour. And so I'm glad you brought that up. And many people did bring up the fact that Cat Williams said that he told Shannon Sharp that they were going to come for him for exposing the truth. I didn't get to talk about that, but this Shannon Sharp case is going to probably be ongoing. So I'm sure I'll be talking about it tomorrow, and I'll bring this up again. But thanks for that reminder, Sherry. That's another thing a lot of people are saying is they wonder, does this have to do? Yeah, we're missing 3 likes, y'all. Can y'all, anybody that's in this live before we get out of here, make sure y'all liking it. We need 3 more likes. We need 3 people who haven't liked it to like this live to push it out in the algorithm and get more viewers on it. There we go. Thank you. We got another like. Anybody else, if you haven't liked it, like it now. If you already liked it, like it again. But yeah, a lot of people have talked about the Cat Williams interview when he exposed a lot of what's going on. He told Shannon Sharp at that time that they were going to come for him. And could this be what they're talking about? So yeah, it's just interesting. And Sherry, you captured, I'm sure, Sherry, what you said, you captured the feelings of a lot of us, a great majority of us, where we're at the point where it's past like believing it or not believing it. Like it's so many of them, we just letting the truth come out, but we are feeling like we don't know who the hell we can trust, who's bad, who's good. Is this a true story? Is this the elites trying to take them down? What the hell is going on? What the heck? So everybody, it's about that time for me to get out of here. Oh man, just got here today. Melody, you a little late, but hey, better late than never. Shout out to Melody, everybody. She's a little late, but everybody give her a warm welcome because we just glad you made it, even though we about to get out of here in a second. But Melody, we just went over the Diddy astrology thing of that he wanted to push his the 2 months delay. Come to find out he didn't like the astrology and the lining of the moon and the stars, so he wanted to push it back 2 months. Also, they're said to for an employee to have a diary that could sink Diddy even more. We talked about Kanye West and his saying that he was giving head to his cousin all the way up from the child to the age of 14. And then we got into the Shannon Sharp mess. And then I told a little bit of my own story. So it was a lot that was covered today, Melody, but go ahead and, you always can watch the replay, but I appreciate you. You have a great day too. Yeah, so trigger warning, Melody, is one of those episodes that you gotta be prepared. Yeah, Sherry, you're gonna have to watch the replay, but you can go watch You can go back, Sherry, and start it from the beginning when we close out because I'm about to get out of here. Y'all show me so much love. Y'all make me stay on here longer, but I got to go. I got work to do. But I will see y'all tomorrow. For those who came late, we are here Monday through Friday live at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we usually go to about about 9 o'clock, 9-ish. So check it out. If you miss it, check out the replay. Much love to all of y'all. Y'all have supported me overwhelmingly. I will never forget it, and I will always appreciate it. Much love. Everybody in the building, let's get the I'm outs in the chat. Y'all know we can't leave until I get the I'm outs. C Tuck. Not dreaming if you still here. Everybody else, y'all know I need that one. I need them I'm outs before we can get the hell out of here. And I give me some breakfast. I'm ready to eat. I'm starving. There we go, C Tuck. Thank you, C Tuck. With our traditional I'm out. I gotta put that on the, I'm putting that on the shirt. But thank you, everybody. Luna, I'm out. Ebony, I'm out. Thank you. Luna, Ebony, C Tuck. Monique says I'm out. Much love. Ain't nobody got it better than us. See y'all tomorrow.